Hey guys, this is Jay with the Douchebag Brigade, and today I wanted to discuss something that's been going around in the Shin Megami Tensei, Mega 10, Persona community for a little bit of time now, and it is the discussion that one of the producers and heads of the team working on Shin Megami Tensei 5 has said about having a deep desire to do a remake of Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne or Shin Megami Tensei 3. Now, to me, would be incredible because, quite frankly, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne may be my favorite game in the entire Mega 10 collection. It's probably one of the best and most well thought out games that Atlas has created. It is very in depth. The battle system is the first in the Shin Megami Tensei realm to actually use the press turn system that everyone has kind of grown to love from Persona. Now, a lot of people, different variations of the press turn system do exist. But that being said, Nocturne is really a game that was overlooked at the time due to its lack of marketing. However, it has gained a huge cult following and has really been the game that has created Shin Megami Tensei fans. Now, some people have played this game out of out of playing Persona and remembering the moniker. That moniker, the way that at least do their games by putting Shin Megami Tensei before Persona or before Digital Devil Saga or before basically any PS2 version of the game, Raidao versus I forget the Raidao, either of the Raidao games. They would say Shin Megami Tensei beforehand. Even the Devil Summoner games, everything basically, Devil Survivor, everything said Shin Megami Tensei for a reason. And so I think in the PS2 era, the moniker gave headway once the over amount of Persona 3 FES and Persona 4 fans jumped on board. Seeing that moniker gave them the idea, well, what's this game like? Or what's Digital Devil Saga like? They all say Shin Megami Tensei. It must be like Persona. And so by utilizing that marketing tool and technique, they were able to get a lot of fans for Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. Now, going from there, this game is one of the best games in the series. If you haven't played it, you should. It gives you multiple story options. You have the alignment system in full effect, and you're really able to choose, what kind of path you want to take. There's a lot of content within the game. There's Dante if you're a Devil May Cry fan, but you end up getting a lot of options in this game and a lot of demons, customizable options for your main character, thanks to the Megatushi. I might be forgetting that now to pronounce it right. Yeah, Megatuchi. There we go. And so you utilize that in order to best represent your gameplay, and it's just an overall incredible game. And so the idea that we could be getting any kind of new version of this game really is in itself pretty amazing. I mean, if the graphics could be updated to the way that they look today on PS4, not that it would be that big a stretch because this is very PS2 looking, maybe a little cleaned up with some sort of ROM hack, but this game is really incredible. The Demi Fiend is one of the best characters out of all the main characters that you have the option to play as in the SMT series. However, that's not to take away from the credit of Aleph and other characters in the game. This one just seems to have a little bit more wherewithal and kind of gets plunged right in the middle, and you don't feel like you're just taking him for a ride, even though you have full control. He does feel like an actual portion of the game, and I think that's because you get a lot more opportunity for. This is really the first time you get to see your main character from a third person's perspective. In the other Shin Megami Tensei games or Mega 10 games, other than Megami Tensei 2, you don't get a perspective of what your character even looks like. And if you ever played Megami Tensei 2, I mean, yeah, you see your character, but I mean, it's, old school Super Nintendo, Super Famicom style graphics. You don't really get a generalization or closeness to your character, whereas you watch the Demi Fiend in every fight, and running around, and you kind of understand that this is our character, this is who we're creating, and the choices that we make affect him in his totality. And so there are many options in Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse because I'm sure everyone has seen, played, or heard of this game. But the idea here is that with the announcement of an HD remake, what would that include outside of just the inclusion of perhaps, better graphics? Because to be honest with you, if you've ever played the game, the PlayStation 2 graphics surprisingly hold up well. It holding up well really leads for little reason to remake. I mean, as of right now, you can get this game on the PS3 store, and I'm sure relatively soon you'll be able to get it on the PS4 store. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. Though it does bear to mind to wonder, those are pretty much cash grabs or re-releases for people to play who can't play because they don't have a PS2. But what would an HD remake really mean? What would that mean for the game itself? Would it be just your stereotypical remake with the overlayer looking much smoother and cleaner? Is that really all we would get? Or is there more to what we could receive from this game? I mean, I think it's you have to take a moment to think, what could really come from a remake of this game? And there's so much to the game itself. Is there an actual way to add more content or change the game up from what we're accustomed to? I like to think that the game would be remade and could be really changed up because, quite frankly, this game was one of the best games I've ever played. And I like to think that if possible, we could turn this game into having new content, new additional demons to what was already in the game. Meaning a lot of demons from maybe Shin Megami Tensei 4 could be included. I think that the graphics is one thing, but I don't think it's a main thing. I feel like the graphics are more of a matter of what someone likes or enjoys, more so than it is a matter of gameplay. I want the gameplay to be the same. I actually love the gameplay, and I think that there really doesn't need to be any alterations to that. However, if there was one thing I could get out of a Nocturne remaster, it would be added content, maybe a branching storyline, maybe a completely separate route that deviates the game halfway through from what we're accustomed to. Something that really makes it different or adds to it. Because we don't need a retread of the same exact game. We've gotten that. We've gotten these, store releases. We've gotten these PS3 releases and rebrands and all that. We don't need that. What we truly need for this to be incredible would be an option to have a change from what we're accustomed to, which is the PS2 style graphics. But what we need is PS4 style graphics mixed with brand new content. If we could add more content to this game, maybe even an alternate character, as much as I love the Demi-Fiend, maybe someone else who, didn't get killed in this blast, or at least have you stumble across someone else who didn't get killed when everything was going to hell. I mean, one thing I can say is that the character as a whole is fantastic, so it's actually even hard for me to think about any other character other than Demi-Fiend for this game. But I really feel like there's a lot of merit and gravitas toward adding more content to his storyline. I think all of us want to know what actually happens if certain things go differently in this game. I mean, what if you could actually play as one of the mannequins? Remember that the mannequins are basically like false humans, but there's the one that's able to fight off the Chaos Girl from the beginning of the game. I can't think of her name, but there are so many different branching things that we could do here. If they were to remake a game Atlas would be crazy not to do this with a remaster or remake, because everyone would buy it. And I think with the craze of Persona right now, this is their chance to strike while the iron's hot and be able to really solidify this game. But anyway, this is Jay with the Douchebag Brigade. This is my opinion on this. Let me know if you guys agree, and I'm out.